Hey everybody, Meg Roth, everyone back here for FSI DFS. I'm here to break down both slates for Thursday, both really small ones. There's an early slate that's 4 games. There's a late slate that starts at 6:35. It has a Cincinnati and Pittsburgh game on FanDuel. On DK, it's just a 3-game slate starting at 8:05. What a crazy day yesterday in baseball. Cincinnati Reds have turned into Cincinnati Bengals. They scored 2 touchdowns. Out of nowhere, Cleveland gets COVID, and that game against the White Sox gets postponed. The White Sox roll out their lineup, and they're like, what's going on here? Because like a bunch of their good bats sat. Singer is going for Kansas City all day long, and all of a sudden we find out he's pitching at AAA tonight, and then it's like an opener situation. And Brad Miller, who is probably a great play on the late slate, you'd think, isn't in the lineup either. It's just a weird, crazy day. And then Houston and Minnesota are like, do we play them? Don't we play them? Weather looks horrible. Oh, look, they're playing, and now the game's suspended. So that might affect the game on the early slate. So, anyways, let's jump into it. We have the 4-game early slate. This slate has probably one of the most ugly pitching matchups or selections I've seen. It is like cover the children's eyes. It is bad. And the thing is probably the 2 best pitchers are in the suspended games, so we don't know. Hopefully DK keeps down the slate. It looks like it's getting pushed back to like 4:05. So hopefully we even have the lineups by 1 o'clock, but we probably won't because that finished the suspended games. So and then there's going to be no way to pivot off of. So I guess like we'll just have to see what to do there. But anyways, we'll start with the first game with the New York Mets and the Washington Nationals. We have Taijuan Walker and Edon for the Nationals. Taijuan Walker has had a really hard start to the season. However, all 3 games that he's pitched have been against the Philadelphia Phillies. So, when a team sees the pitcher over and over again, they sometimes really get to know them and their pitches and get in rhythm against them, and of course they do well. So I think that Walker is going to do better today. He's not facing the Phillies. Washington has some good bats, but they don't like really scare me like they have in years past. The Mets have a really good total. I think they match up really good offensively against Edon, and I think he's got good win equity. So on FanDuel, I'm not saying play him as your SP1. On DK, I'm really considering him as my SP2 because when he did his extended spring training and those games, he looked really good. With he only has a 15% K rate now in the majors. Again, that was against Philadelphia, and I know Philadelphia has some Ks in the lineup, but he was struggling with some shoulder fatigue early in the game. It seems like they were pushing him in longer than he was ready to go. He wasn't quite stretched out. He was like got pulled early from games, but his last start he looked better. So I'm really considering Walker today. I might be going out on a limb on that one, but we'll see. Bats wise, Mets I think would be my second favorite stack, and Washington obviously with Walker struggling, I can definitely see stacking some of them there. Oakland and Detroit, Caprillion and Reese, both these pitchers walk a lot of batters. I think Caprillion will probably be the default SP2 here. Like I said, I think I might go Walker over him. Both offenses sometimes come alive out of nowhere, like Oakland put up some runs yesterday. And then sometimes are dreadful with strikeouts. You got wind blowing in a little bit at 6 miles per hour directly in from center field. I don't think that really affects the game. It's going to be 80 degrees, so like hitting weather, it's going to be better than a game that's like 50 degrees in Detroit. So I think both teams make a cheap stack. I don't think I'd really Bresk is probably only going to go like 5 innings, and Caprillion I think is probably the better play there. I can't believe they're both 7K, but I guess in the context of a 4-game slate, that's what you got to do. So Houston and the Twins, like I said, the game's was originally slated for like 110. I believe it's going to be pushed to 405 once they finish the suspended game before it. but hopefully it still stays on the slate. But like I said, we're really running into danger of not knowing what either team's lineup is going to be. Perhaps they put it out beforehand, which would be nice. But you have Garcia and Widner here, and both these pitchers are probably the top ones on the slate. I could see playing both of them in cash potentially, just because your options are very limited. Garcia, like if Buxton is in the lineup, I mean, he's still a righty there. Garcia's been decent against righties, so I think he's okay there. And Windler, he's really impressed me. Like his last two outings have been very good. And actually, if you like box score checking and you look at his first couple of outings and it kind of scares you off, but don't be, because he was just thrown into those first couple of games with because the two pitchers ahead of him, I think it was Ober and it was somebody else got injured, so he just got pulled out of the bullpen for a long relief situation and had to like just eat innings there. So so you look at the first, and they were against like decent lineups too, against the White Sox and Boston. But then against Tampa Bay and Oakland, he put up 29 DK points and 31 DK points. So I know Houston doesn't strike out a lot, but who knows with the suspended game, what the lineup's going to be. Are they going to rotate players? They're not going to have to make up like too many innings, but still, you never know. So if we get some of the junior, and Thursday sometimes a getaway day too. So sometimes you see different like people rotate into lineups to give like some of the regular starters a day of rest there too. So I think if I have to pick one, I like Winder over Garcia. Garcia's been okay, faced Toronto twice, 11.9, 15.3, put 33.4 up against Detroit, but that's Detroit. So I think both pitchers are decent choices. We'll just have to see what they're going to do with that game. Final game is the Baltimore Orioles and St. Louis Cardinals. So Keegan Aiken and Jordan Hicks. Aiken is definitely a fade for me. Hicks, like, he really doesn't go that deep either. So let's see here. His innings have been 4.1, 3.1, 2, 3. So maybe if he's going to get a little bit longer today, maybe against Baltimore, an easier matchup, it works. So I think he piques my interest. But again, I think most people are going with Kaprelian as their SP2 if they don't pair the two pitchers in the Minnesota and Houston game. And the one thing is potentially like St. Louis's rotation like got kind of weird starting yesterday, and Wainwright could potentially pop in there. And if he's there, then by default, if you see Adam Wainwright is like, lock him in, your SP1 right there. There you go. We're all set. Thank you. Hallelujah. We have some saving grace on the slate for pitching. If not, I think Baltimore makes a decent cheap stack here, along with Oakland, and St. Louis, I think, would be the top one on the slate against Aikens. So let's just look at some lineup builds quickly, and then we'll get to the later one. So like I said, I like Winder and Walker. If you want to put Caprelli in here, that's fine. But I am stacking the Mets and the Cardinals. That's going to be kind of expensive, so you're probably going to have to punt a catcher and outfield. But Alonso, Edman, Arenado, Lindor, Nemo, and Yepes are the core guys that I want to play here. If you want to go Goldsmith over Alonso, I completely get that too. But I really like right-handers against Adone. He has given up a lot of power to them, so that's what makes me want to really play as many right-handed power bats from the Mets as I can. So I might tone down St. Louis a little bit, but we'll just have to see what the lineups are and how things shake out for that. So and Walker gives me a little bit more money to get some more guys up here. Giddy's risky, but in the context of the slate, I want to take my chances here today. So for GPP, I'm going to go Garcia and Caprelian. So for catcher, my stacks here is I'm going to take Washington here. In GPP, I'm going to target Walker. And then I'm going to play Houston as long as I have a lineup and kind of know what's going on here. So Ruiz is very expensive. Probably won't get up to him. Maldonado or the Ben Boom, who's probably the cheapest catcher out there, is probably where I'm looking to go there. Bell at first base, Altuve or Cesar Hernandez if I don't have enough for Altuve or if he's out second. Bregman, K-Rob should be the shortstop. Kramer Robinson for St. Louis with the lefty on the mound there. In Baltimore, he's only 2.1K, so definitely like that price tag there. Soto, Houston, whoever your outfielder you like that fits in there, Alvarez, Tucker, Brantley, and then Hernandez. And if Nelson Cruz actually is back in the discussion now, he's actually hit a home run in 2 out of 4 games and doing a little bit better. So I can see in the context of the slate playing him there. Okay, so now on to the main slate. We have, like I said, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh is on the FanDuel one, Overton and JB Brubaker. Brubaker, I think potentially you could play, but I think between CC Anderson and Wheeler, like you're going to play one of those on FanDuel. You're not going to be cute with the pitchers here. And wind's blowing in 9 miles per hour. It's in Pittsburgh. So it's not the Great American Small Park anymore. So I think Cincinnati goes back to struggling again. But in a GPP, if you think that they're still got that Bengals power there and going to score a couple more touchdowns, then by all means, stack them all up. But it's only on FanDuel, so you're going to get 4 of them. First game on DK slate at 8:05 is Kansas City Royals and the Texas Rangers, Hensley and Hearn. Hearn's probably going to go 5 innings. He's cheap, but don't think you really need him here. Heasley is definitely a fade for me. Kansas City, I like these guys again for cheap bats here. Mostly probably the righties here, not Benintendi, but he and Lopez are probably the only guys that might come out as lefties there. Really like Texas here, and I think Texas is really going to, hopefully Miller's in the lineup here, another lefty righty, Seager, Simeon, I'm fine with too. High, maybe a catcher, maybe Calhoun. Garcia is really overpriced for what he's done this season. Low if he bats up higher in the batting order, potentially. Next game, we have the Yankees and the White Sox. We have Gill and Cisse. Gill is a very good minor league pitcher. I'm close to Scranton and plays for the Rail Riders, and it does well. So he's going to come up for a spot start here. CC on the other side is definitely, even against this Yankee offense, who has, done really well recently. They've won a lot of games. I think even against like the good pitchers they've seen, sometimes they struggle, sometimes they do strike out. Again, it's a getaway day. You could have some guys resting in the offense. So could be, and if righty on the mound means Joey Gallo bats, and he's like a strikeout machine too for the pitcher. So Cisse definitely top pitcher on slate. Gill, I think, is a good pivot off some of the other top guys in the medium range. The White Sox are getting back together and healthy, but they got a day off yesterday, and they didn't have like some of the guys in their lineup. So maybe Moncada is there. He just came back from an injury. I think they're like maybe on a day off, but you got a natural day off just with that cancellation. So we'll see what they roll out there. But if it's the same one that rolled out against Cleveland, I'm fine playing Gill. Final game is the Phillies and the Dodgers. Tyler Anderson and Zach Wheeler. Wheeler's coming back from COVID. He's got a little bit more rest. Don't know how severe COVID he had, if he really had it, or if he just tested positive or close contact or whatever for the protocols. But Anderson, I definitely like against, he's very tough against left-handed batting. So the righties and Phillies might be in play in a GPP here, but I think Anderson and Cisse are going to be your combination. If you want to save a little bit, then you can go Anderson and Wheeler. I know they're in the same game, but I think that if you want to save 2K, drop down from Cisse, that would potentially be the play there. Dodgers bats, I think, are like one of the best ones on the slate. So looking at the breakdown here, like I said, Cisse and Anderson probably going to be the most popular pairing. I am definitely going to go Dodgers lefties and Texas. So give me Freeman, Simeon, Muncy, Seager, Turner there. Take your pick. I'm leaning Seager. Save me some money there. Betts or Lux. Lux saves you a little bit of money, but Betts was out yesterday. Should be back in lineup. And then Miller, hopefully he plays. He's in below 3K. That's a nice smash spot for him leading off there against a right-handed pitcher that's not very good. And then you just have to probably punt a catcher and outfield. And then finally, GPP, give me Gill, give me Wheeler there, and let's stack the Phillies and Yankees. So JT Realmuto, right-handed bat, Rizzo or Hoskin, both of them have splits advantage, whatever one you like there. Punt second base is really not good options. If you want to pay down at like catcher or something, you could probably get the Texas guys in here at second base and shortstop, like Baum at third base, Castellanos at right-handed batter there, Judge, and then Stanton or Hicks, or again, if you want to go down on one of the outfield guys too, to try to get the Semien and Seager in there, or maybe even go potentially pay down on Miller, and then you have like a 3-man Texas stack in there, and then go Yankees and Phillies. That should differentiate you enough on this slate. So that's what we got for today. 2 slates, very small. Hopefully they're pretty straightforward and things work out. Pitching's a little bit better in the evening, not really good in the daytime. Maybe Wainwright will pop up there, so just keep an eye on that. So we had tons of questions yesterday. It was great interacting with everybody on Twitter and in the comments here. So leave comments below. We'll try to get back to you, help you out, especially if things change like yesterday. And always pay attention, because yesterday we dropped like all of our evening stuff for free for you on our website. So we'll do that from time to time. So always, pay attention, watch the videos, subscribe to our channel so you know when they come out. Give us a like. That really helps us get the word out to all the other people. Appreciate you watching. If you want more information on FSI DFS, check out the description of the video, and all our information is on there. And I'm Mega Ruler 31. I'll see you next time.